forcing someone into dancing unless they want it.
Absolutely.
As much as we want to, that's not always a good idea, probably.
It's not. And I actually, would say, I think lots of times, not always, but partners end up slowly coming along. But I think some things that I think are helpful along the way is to respect the other person's timing and pacing, and don't force them or control them into doing the dance. And I also think if they do come out dancing, it's really important to encourage them and not really give criticism or negative feedback unless they ask you. Often I'll see people trying to get their partner up to speed to maybe where they're at, and that usually ends up in a conflict.
Sure,
so,
sure.
I've also I think it's important just socially, because the dance community is a tight community, and if you're already a dancer in the community, you've got close friends there, and sometimes partners feel a little bit uncomfortable coming in. So I think it's important to be sensitive to their social needs as well, and
Absolutely.
Just help them adapt to that environment.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, that's really good advice. I'm kind of in that situation, and Franklin has been very wanting to learn how to dance, but he's been taking his time. So but I'm encouraging him. I hope I am. I hope I am.
Stay patient.
Yes.
He may come along.
So when you talk to new dancers, someone that's just coming in, what's your advice for someone who is a new dancer that's not necessarily in a couple situation where one of their spouse is already a dancer, just someone new to dance? What do you recommend to them as they get started in the dance world?
I guess the first thing I would say to them is just that we've all been there before as new dancers, and it is frustrating. It's fun in the beginning, but it also can be frustrating because West Coast Swing does have the combination of technique and training mixed with more of the creative musicality and the kind of club dancing mixed in. So it takes a while to learn it, but I would say that we've all been insecure, still am nervous and insecure when I'm out there on the floor, and that as they're out there dancing more, taking more privates, that they'll get more confident and they'll
Absolutely.
get more comfortable with the dance.
And what made you decide to compete?
Oh, well, as a little girl, again, I, did some little dances, like I'm a little teapot and things like that, growing up taking dance lessons. And I loved being up on the stage performing. But as far as West Coast Swing goes, I had a couple friends, Rachel Baumgardner and Brian Feehan, who basically were the first ones. They invited me to my first West Coast Swing event, and it was actually in Fresno, Steve Zahner's dance. I love Fresno, and it's still one of my favorite events. But we went down there together. I didn't even take comp clothes, and they just both kept encouraging me to compete in novice. So I finally got up the nerve and did it, and really enjoyed it. Made finals, which I was blown away by.
Great.
And since then, just kind of stayed with it.
Yeah, so you never know when you're going to get thrown into it. It's just, I always find it's a challenge. It's just, I like that challenge. And even getting over my anxiety is the challenge that I sometimes enjoy getting over.
Yes.
What inspires you to dance West Coast Swing? What really makes you want to get out on that floor?
The champion dancers, for sure.
Absolutely.
I love watching them at all the events, especially the Jack and Jills and Strickleys that they do. I just think they're so talented and gifted, and their ability to be creative with the music, the musicality that they have, and their training and technique. I feel very encouraged and inspired after watching them.
That's true. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. So when you're not dancing at a convention, where do you dance?
Well, I live pretty far out in the country, so I have to drive a ways, which I'm bummed about. I'd say my favorite place to dance is down in the Bay Area. It's called Two Left Feet, and Randy and Stephanie Kroll run that place. And it's an awesome place to dance. A lot of really wonderful dancers there, in a very accepting, friendly environment. And often people from out of town or out of state that come into the Bay Area will be there. So that's one of my favorite places. I'm a little bit on a hiatus right now from dancing, and I'm kind of disappointed because there's a place that's just opened up close by here. It's Warren and Yenny's Warehouse down in Novato.
Oh.
And wonderful place, and a lot of great dancers are going there, and it's close by, but I'm not really out dancing right now at this time. And I think Jason and Yvonne are also teaching there on Thursday nights, so it's a great location.
Yeah, we're going to have to check that out.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a field trip out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think every woman needs to know about West Coast swing dancing?
Oh, let's see. I would say to learn to follow. What would be one thing, especially when I was starting out. I just the following was difficult for me.
As an independent woman.
For sure. And trust issues, just to relax and sort of let go and trust that this guy's going to take you where you're supposed to go and not hurt you. And
Absolutely.
So I think following's a really important thing. And I also think for women that boundaries in the dance community are important on the floor and off the floor. Mm-hmm. I think it's important to remember you can just be having a blast on the dance floor with somebody, and there can be great chemistry and it can be a lot of fun. But that doesn't mean once you're off the dance floor that, you want to have that same kind of chemistry or interaction with them. So I just would say to women, it's okay to set your boundaries and limits if you need to feel safe.
Very, very smart, very smart. And what about men? What is the one thing that men need to know about West Coast swing dancing?
Wow.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Like I would know. That's a hard question. I would think, just coming from a female perspective, the thing I would want to say to men is that, at least when I'm dancing with a man, the performance is not the most important thing to me, or how good they are. What's important to me is if we're having a good time together, if we're smiling, if there's a good connection emotionally and in the dance. And so just to kind of lower some of the expectations and pressure that they don't have to perform perfectly.
Yeah, that makes sense, because I can imagine, as a follower, we follow. We don't have to think of the next move, 30 seconds before it's about to happen. So
they have a much tougher job than we do. So
yeah. So is there a dance that you'll never forget? I mean, one that just sticks in your memory?
Oh boy, I've had lots of wonderful dances. I guess the one that I've had most recently was at Boogie by the Bay this year. Mm-hmm. I actually went down for just one evening and didn't compete this year. But social dancing, late night social dancing. This person doesn't even know me, and I don't know them off the floor. But I know the name. His name's Hader Khan, and I think he's from the East Coast or Texas or somewhere. But we had a really, I thought, beautiful late night dance. It was very creative and very fluid, and just our connection, both in the dance and emotionally, just felt really wonderful. So it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely, those memories just keep you dancing and make you smile in the middle of just having a dull day or a bad day. You think about that dance and you
gives you a little perk. Yeah,
absolutely. We all need those. So you said you're taking a little hiatus from dance.
Yes.
So I know you're working on some other programs professionally. You're doing a couples seminar workshop. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. My husband and I we've been married 27 years.
Congratulations.
A long time. And I'm in private practice as a therapist, and then I'm working on this PhD, which is quite a big project. But part of my dissertation for the doctoral program is to write like a workbook or book of some kind. So I've actually written a couples workshop. It's a 2-day workshop, and my husband's also been involved with that, and we're going to be launching that soon here in the Bay Area.
Oh, great.
The couples who want to come out and work on their relationship and connection and chemistry and conversation and all of that.
Well, that sounds wonderful. What a great opportunity to just grow in such a beautiful setting out here in the country. It's wonderful. So if people want to get a hold of you for either your workshops or to find out more about the sports psychology, how do they get a hold of you?
They could contact me on my email, which is Terri. Should I just give my email?
Yeah.
Terri-Haley@comcast.net. And then we also have a website. Our workshop is called Matters of the Heart. And you can go to Matters of the Heart Resources terrihaley.com.
Great. And then if you don't catch that, it'll be below us, right here on the website. So Terri, thanks so much
You're
for spending some
welcome.
time.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure.
Yeah.
And Michelle for Got a Lot of Dance.